We'll be combing for clues to try and help find a missing woman in Alabama. 25-year-old Carlee Russell vanished Thursday after police say she reported a toddler wandering on the side of the interstate. And the last thing her family heard was her scream. Now they're hoping to find her safe and bring an end to this nightmare.
But we just ask everyone to please, 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 wherever you are, if you're not in Birmingham, whatever, they could be in Georgia, we don't know.
Just 2 hours west of Atlanta, a Birmingham area couple making a nationwide plea for the safe return of their daughter. It was Thursday night. Carlee Russell, known as Carlee, was driving home from work on I-459 near mile marker 11. That's when police say she saw something that had her putting on the brakes, reporting that she saw a child walking on the interstate, and she did what so many people would do, stopped to help. Carlee made another call to a family member, and that's when everything changed.
At some point, she got out the car. My daughter-in-law could hear her asking the child if they were okay. The child didn't respond, or at least she didn't hear her respond. He or she respond. And then she heard our daughter Carlee scream.
That the last sign of Carlee.
Police officers who were already en route to the location of the initial 911 call located the female's vehicle as well as some of her belongings at the scene.
They have found her wig and her hat and her cell phone.
Fox affiliate WBRC obtaining this video of the traffic camera at the moment Carlee pulled to the side of the road. You can see a vehicle with its hazard lights on pulling over. Police don't have much else to go on.
A single witness has reported possibly seeing a gray vehicle with a light-complected male standing outside of Carlee's vehicle.
They are using any information they get to try and bring Carlee home. Her parents hoping for the same.
If anyone sees anything, no matter how minute, no matter how insignificant you think it is, please contact 911.
And we want to go ahead and show you Carlee Russell once again. If you know anything about where she may be, go ahead and contact the Hoover, Alabama Police Department. There is a $25,000 reward for her safe return. Very chilling.
This is a bit of a plea, and I just asking people. I'm looking. A friend of mine sent me this link this morning of a missing young lady, Carlee. Carlee Russell, and I'm like, this is sad. This is sad. We always hear these stories. I remember the one of Molly Tibbetts and others, and it's very sad to see what's happening. I pray they find this young lady. I pray they find her, and the family can have some comfort, some closure with this. I pray something good, a good ending happens. This is a bigger issue that just needs to be addressed. Young children and little girls and females in general seem to be always under attack or always being preyed upon. Now, some people may not like this, and in terms of saying no solution, sadly to say, a lot of time is by people, I don't want to say, but often by people of the opposite gender, males in particular, who have a lot of ungodly intentions, Is it for trafficking? It could be for other things. People are getting assaulted, raped, beaten. It's bad stuff that happens out there, And it's like, when is this going to stop? They're harming our young women and children. They're harming, guys already have enough threats from other issues as well, but ladies have it very hard, very difficult. And, you can sit there and say, well, it's a one of many. It's another statistic there. It's one too many. There should not be any more like this kind of stuff happening. All these young ladies are under threats all the time. They can't walk down the street safely and stuff. Going into apartments, people attacking them in the dark. And on the train, and when people are attacking them, people are sitting there taking out their phones and watching it, and streaming it live or something. Like it's some kind of joke or some kind of entertainment. Are people numb? They don't understand how dangerous this is? It's like, they worry all the time. Every time I see a young lady walking by herself or walking or even driving, I'm thinking, please let her get home safe. Let that person get home safe, because you just never know. You never know what can happen. Same thing goes. If you have daughters in your own family, you understand, very protective already as I am. It's just that you can only do so much to protect them. And I'm like, people, as I said, people may not like the idea of this, but I said, listen, all women should be allowed to carry tasers and a gun. Sorry. Tasers and a gun. Let them be trained to know how to use it and say, oh, yeah, I'm not promoting gun violence, but listen, If you're that willing and wicked enough to try to attack a young lady like that and try to force yourself upon somebody or try to kidnap somebody, I'm sorry, you might need to be taken out. Sorry. Okay, this is how it goes. You don't attack God's children like that. How long are you gonna let this happen? And for the guys, talking to you in particular, you're there. You have females around you. Okay, you have your daughters, you have your mom, your aunts. Listen, all the females, they're our sisters. Okay, they're our moms, our aunts, and cousins. We need to look out for them. All the fathers out there, you know how it is. You know when your child get hurt, sons get hurt. You know. But daughters have a very special role to play in our hearts. You know, very, very defensive over them. Okay, don't want anybody touch these little girls. Okay. I mean, I'm like, when they're gonna stop? Now everyone's trying to seek and search and find. Hopefully, find them in time. What about the college kids that got stabbed a while ago in another state? I mean, it's like everywhere you go, they're getting trafficked, they're being kidnapped, taken from the border, taken from here, abducted from the home, abducted at night, abducted at knife point, gunpoint. I mean, it's like, please, we need to do more to protect our young ladies from as small as they are to as old as they are. Protect the women in society, protect the females here, okay? This is not bashing men and saying this is all the guys doing this, but I'm just saying, there is a bigger statistic that shows that men are, predominantly the ones that are doing these things, And they say, well, what about other countries? I mean, you can bring it to other countries too, whereby people are, being attacked for not wearing, certain attire, or hijab or gowns and stuff, Or, I don't want to put point any fingers at anybody in particular, this anything, but some religions and some places, they tend to devalue women. I think women shouldn't have a higher standing. Now, women, I think, should be at the top, just the same as men, equal. Women, men, equal. Okay, in God's sight, equal. No one should ever put them down. No one should ever insult them. Give them their space. Give them what they need. Give them their lives in peace. Let them live lives in peace, please. Okay, protect your young girls. Protect the females. Protect the young boys and protect the men as well. And especially the females. There need to be something done. Too many reports, too many cases of these things happening whereby the young ladies are disappearing and being trafficked somewhere. And for what? You ask yourself, if it is something of trafficking, for what? For a man's pleasure to end up in a brothel or some hotel somewhere being abused and things. I don't know the situation will happen with Carlee, and I pray this is not going to be her story. I pray this at the end of this thing, people will be like, no, we found her. God bless. She's, something good happened. She found somewhere. Somebody say something. And if you did see something, please say something, okay? Because people are sitting there and goes, it's not my issue. I don't want to get involved. It could be you, okay? It could be anybody. I remember a case of a couple of years ago whereby they said a couple pretended to be stranded, a man, woman, and a child, and they flagged down a guy in a Mercedes. I think it was a black ML, and they were faking it. They killed the man, took his vehicle like it's nothing, carjacked the man. I see carjacking of cars and stuff happening also by young people and teenagers. I'm like, where are the parents? Where are the families? Where are these people? Who training these children to be this way? Who training anybody? How could somebody so young grow up to be old enough now to act in a way that's going to harm another human being like that? What would make someone want to? And if they did use a toddler in this situation, as we're hearing, take another child to go bait somebody else? Now people say, well, no, maybe it's fabrication, maybe it's people faking things. Who knows? But until we hear otherwise, we need to do something more to protect these women and to safeguard them. We need to look out for each other again, people. All of us, men looking for women looking for men, parents look out for your children look out for your parents. Everybody need to look out for each other. So please, not trying to do this to sit there and use this as a story to capitalize on it. I'm just saying, we have to do more to protect our women and children. We have to do more to protect, especially our young girls, okay? If I can speak my mind and tell you what I would like to do to people who like to harm girls, you will understand, okay? I came from a home, my family, whereby there's a lot of domestic violence and bad things happening to our own mother and to the family. So I'm very defensive of young ladies and girls in particular. Do not harm them, okay? Don't let me see it happening, okay, for one. But please, you need to do more. We need to do more as a society. Protect our young girls and women. Give them their space. Let them be free to do what they need to do. Let them fill the role that God gave them to be. Loving, nurturing members of society of equal footing and standing with everybody else. Don't try to walk over them. Don't try to put over them. Don't try to use them. Don't try to abuse them. Don't try to, traffic them and molest them. Come on, man. Who are these people? Who are these brutes? Who are these brutes out there that needs to be checked? Okay? So yes, arm the young ladies if you have to. Tasers, guns, okay? Sorry, you don't like it? all the men pushing, trying to harm the ladies, you could roll up on the wrong one. You may not end up rolling you out again after that. Okay, so don't do it. Let the young ladies be free to live a life in peace. Sorry, I'm making this video to let them know, hey, we're seeing and we're listening. So I'm hoping that somebody can hear this. I'm going to put a picture to link with the video to see if you can find them. Please help us find Carlee and all the other young girls and children missing in this world. We need to find them. I've seen cases of people setting up grooming gangs and all this stuff happening here. A lot of things happen. A lot of things happen to cover up darkness. You the Super Bowl, I hear about raids and stuff happening and other things. I'm not trying to denounce anything. I'm not trying to say people are, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone who say I've done this, but they tend to use young women and children a lot to be trafficked and other things to happen to them in a very bad way. And people keep quiet about it. For all those people say they're speaking up and they see and they love people so much, well, show you what God said. By your love for one another, we shall tell who you are. So show that you love them. Show that you care about them. Go get them, find them, help them. I'm going to do my part as well, okay? We need to take care of our young ladies and our young men and our mothers and the women in our society. I want to say our family and our society. Take care of the young men, please. We got to do more. This has gone on way too long enough. It shouldn't have started in the first place, okay? Women are too precious. We need to protect them, okay? Please. And please, help search for this family. Help them, please. Help. So the Russell family, our hearts go out to you guys. We pray that something happens good and positive. We're praying. We're going to try to keep our eyes out and look and see if we see anything and hear anything, okay? God bless. Thank you, everybody. And as a bit of a follow-up on the first part of the video, if you can look back into there's a story back in Genesis, I think it's Genesis 33 or 24, I have a picture of it there, but it's a story about what happened when one of the sons, the prince of, I think it was one of the prince of Shechem, back in the Old Testament, went and saw one of the daughters of Jacob, Dinah, one of the daughters of Leah. She was in a field one day, called a damsel. She was there by herself, in the field, I guess, helping tend the herd and crops, whatever she was doing there. She was there by herself doing some stuff, good things. And this prince of Shechem decided to roll upon her, forcefully assault her. He raped her. Okay, this is not something people want to talk about, but he assaulted her. Then he said he loved her so much. So you love her so much, you're going to force yourself on her and do this to her, and you disgrace her, you dishonor her, lack of self-control and passions take over, and this is how you treat her. And what I want to say, you look at how the story ended. This is what I say: men need to go there and defend the women and speak up for women. Now, he told his father, I like her, get her for me. But he had a trick plan. He was hoping that to make an allegiance and bond with the family, so he'll get the daughter, and at the same time be able to get their crops and stuff also. This is just a quick summation. But the two sons of Jacob are a little smarter than that. They said, okay, we'll do this. We'll pretend we're going along with them, but we're going to show them what's going to happen. So, what they did, they said, yeah, if you want to marry our daughter, when they had a meeting, you want to marry our sister, then let them know that all the men need to go and circumcise themselves. And the prince said, it's not a hard thing. Yeah, we can do that. We can circumcise us and cut up. It's not a bad thing. We can do that. We'll have their stuff. They had other plans, nefarious plans still, to take over what Jacob's earnings and all his family's earnings and stuff. So then they decided, in the meantime, sure, let's do that. When they did that, after they did that now, the sons of Jacob said, yeah, now when all the men are sore and they did what they did, then they're going to exact tribute. So what did they do? The two sons of Jacob went there and they slaughtered the whole town, They took care of the people that did that to their daughter, their sister. So you humble Jacob's daughter and you destroy somebody's sister. As I said, man, this is for you guys. How are you supposed to act and protect your women? You know about also David's son, when, Absalom, he wasn't the best of character himself, David, in terms of what he did. But he asked for repentance and God forgave him for that. So we need to look at that, both parts of the stories. As also Absalom. Absalom also, started off good, but then turned out bad. But there's still the same principle is there, whereby you need to protect the females in our lives. We need to protect the females in our lives on all levels, every time, okay? So Jacob's son took care of the problem when people did that to his daughter and to their sister. So young boys, don't be sitting there like it's, I'm not promoting violence. People say, go there and go be offensive and go start trouble with people and go start fighting with people. No, I'm just saying, when wrong is done, we need to exact justice how God does it and permit it. Okay? Okay? That's all I'm going to tell you. Take care of the women in this world. Please help them. God bless you. Part 3 of this would be, in addition to all these, you read, remember, Genesis chapter 34. In addition to how, say justice is exacted, a lot of it also still stems from education. We must educate our children, our young boys, men, and daughters also, everyone how to carry yourselves. At the same time, we need to educate especially young boys, young children, and men to know to respect a woman, respect a woman's body, respect a woman's privilege, respect women in general. Not saying they're not done already. So for those who are doing it, God bless you, continue. I'm trying my best also. For those who are not doing it, please, you have to understand, women are not sex toys. They're not objects just to play around with. They're not just for anyone's fanciful, whims. They're the phrase I heard before that, they in their arms or in their wombs, they can carry a whole nation. They can pretty much change a whole nation by what they do. Women are very powerful, and God made them that special. And you see, men, you can't do it alone. We need women. So I'm just saying, education is a big factor. So do I say, arm them if as necessary? Education is also a factor. Educate the men, especially the young boys and the young children, and continue to educate the young women as well, but mainly the young boys and the young and men, how to treat women the right way. Do it God's way. That's a very interesting end result. It says, love them as you love yourself. Love them as you love your own body. Nobody want to harm themselves, right? Those who do, I hope you won't. But those who love yourself and love God, you will love them too. God bless.